Attention passionate Atlanta Falcons fans. Latest news. Something big is happening in the NFC South and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Atlanta Falcons' path to another Super Bowl run. A power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Atlanta Falcons fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends in Atlanta Falcons fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been paying close attention to the NFC South lately, you know that this division is never short of drama, surprises, and strategic moves that can reshape the playoff landscape. The Atlanta Falcons, a team that's been quietly building momentum, has been in the spotlight once again, but not necessarily for the reasons some fans might have hoped. We all know that the Falcons had a pretty decent season last year, finishing with a solid record and showing some real flashes of potential. But, as always, the question remains, what's next? How do they take that next step toward becoming a genuine Super Bowl contender? And, more specifically, what's happening at the cornerback position? A spot that's crucial for their defensive success and their overall competitiveness in 2024. Now, recent reports have been buzzing about the Falcons' offseason moves. Or, more accurately, the lack of some high-profile acquisitions at cornerback. Fans have been eager for a splash signing, especially after watching last season's struggles in pass defense, where they ranked 22nd in passing yards allowed. That's an area that needs serious improvement if Atlanta wants to turn the page and become a more formidable team in the NFC. The question on everyone's mind is, will they make a move for a top-tier cornerback? Well, it seems that, at least for now, they might have missed out on one of the top targets, Jaire Alexander, who recently signed a deal with the Baltimore Ravens. That's right. The two-time second-team All-Pro cornerback decided to stay in the AFC North. And the Falcons weren't able to land that big fish despite their interest. Alexander signed a one-year, $4 million deal with Baltimore, a contract that certainly fits within Atlanta's salary cap constraints. But the timing and strategic fit might have been a reason for the team's cautious approach. You see, the Falcons only have about $5.3 million in cap space remaining. And that's a tight squeeze when you consider the need for depth and potential injuries during the season. That's probably why they didn't push harder for Alexander. Teams usually prefer to keep some flexibility, especially when dealing with veteran players who can be key contributors if injuries strike. Instead, Atlanta seems to be looking at other options. And one name that's been floated around is Rasul Douglas. Now, Douglas is a guy who could really fit the bill for what the Falcons need, especially if they can sign him at a bargain price. Why Douglas? Well, for starters, he's got plenty of experience, appearing in 120 NFL games and starting 80 of them over his 8-year career. That's a lot of game day knowledge. And that kind of veteran presence can be invaluable for a team like Atlanta, which is still trying to solidify its secondary. What makes Douglas particularly interesting is his background. Drafted by the Philadelphia Eagles in the 3rd round of the 2017 NFL Draft, he was selected 99th overall. As a rookie, he played a role in helping the Eagles secure a Super Bowl victory, which is no small feat. Over the years, he's played for several teams: the Eagles, Green Bay Packers, Carolina Panthers, and Buffalo Bills. And each stop has added to his skill set and understanding of the game. Last season, with the Bills, Douglas posted some solid numbers: 58 combined tackles, including 5 for loss, along with 5 pass defenses and a forced fumble. He was a regular starter for Buffalo, with 15 starts, and his versatility in the secondary makes him a valuable piece for any team looking to bolster its cornerback depth. Now, here's a little bit of context that might help you understand why the Falcons are considering him. The team's secondary last year was a mixed bag. A.J. Terrell, their star cornerback, is already established as a shutdown player. But opposite him, the team relied heavily on Mike Hughes and a rotation of other players. Hughes showed flashes, but consistency was an issue. The Falcons didn't make any major upgrades at outside cornerback during the offseason, which has led some analysts to argue that they should still be looking for help. In fact, the team's pass defense ranked near the bottom of the league, and that's a big reason why they're exploring options like Douglas. His experience, especially against top receivers, could help shore up some of those vulnerabilities. It's also worth mentioning that the Falcons have invested heavily in their defense in recent drafts, adding talented young safeties and defensive backs like Xavier Watts and Billy Bowman Jr. in the 2025 NFL Draft. These young players are promising, but they still need time to develop. Meanwhile, undrafted free agent Kobe Bryant has generated some hype as a potential slot corner, but he's unproven at this level. Bringing in a veteran like Douglas could provide that steadying influence in the secondary and help the team compete more effectively right out of the gate. What's interesting about Douglas is his style of play. He's known for his physicality, his ball skills, and his ability to match up against different types of receivers. He's not the fastest corner out there, but his instincts and experience allow him to make plays on the ball and be reliable in coverage. For the Falcons, who are looking to improve their pass defense without breaking the bank, Douglas could be a perfect fit. Plus, with his history of working with coaches like Jerry Gray, who previously coached him in Green Bay, the transition to Atlanta might be smoother than expected. Gray's familiarity with Douglas's game could give the Falcons an edge in negotiations and integration. Now, looking at the bigger picture, this is a team that's still in the process of building a contender. The Falcons have a talented offense led by quarterback Desmond Ridder, who showed promise last season, and a strong offensive line that's quietly improving. But defense, particularly the pass defense, remains an area where they need to get better if they want to push into the upper echelon of the NFC. Their defensive front has some nice pieces, but the secondary has been a bit of a sore spot. That's why this potential signing of Douglas makes so much sense. It's about adding that veteran presence, that reliable coverage guy, to help them close out games and keep opponents from exploiting their vulnerabilities. And let's not forget about the division rivals. The NFC South has been reshaped over the past year, with some teams making big moves and others struggling to keep pace. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, for example, have been in a bit of a rebuild, while the New Orleans Saints are trying to find consistency under new leadership. The Carolina Panthers are still developing their roster, and the Super Bowl-winning Tampa Bay Buccaneers are looking to bounce back after a disappointing season. If Atlanta can strengthen their secondary and improve their pass defense, they could not only compete for the division title but also set themselves up for a deep playoff run. The NFC South is wide open right now, and that makes every move, every signing, even more crucial. In terms of defensive strategy, the Falcons have been emphasizing a mix of aggressive pass rush and versatile coverage. Adding a player like Douglas could give them more flexibility in their defensive schemes, allowing them to be more creative in how they deploy their coverage packages and blitzes. His ability to play both inside and outside in the secondary makes him a versatile option that could help the Falcons adapt to different offensive threats they'll face during the season. Plus, with the NFL becoming increasingly pass-heavy, Teams that can lock down the receivers and force turnovers tend to find more success. And Douglas's ball-hawking skills could be key in that regard. Looking ahead, it's clear that the Falcons are still in the hunt for that missing piece in their secondary. Their draft picks, free agency moves, and internal development will all play a role in shaping their season. But one thing's for sure. The addition of a seasoned veteran like Rasul Douglas, if they can sign him at a reasonable price, could be a game-changer. It's about filling gaps, adding depth, and creating a more competitive team that can take on the best in the league. And for fans, that's what makes this offseason so exciting. The potential for improvement is there, and it's just a matter of how well the front office can execute these moves. As we all know, the NFL is a league of inches and moments. One smart signing, one strategic move can turn a team's fortunes around. The Falcons have the talent, the coaching staff, and now they're looking to add that veteran piece that can help them reach new heights. Whether it's Douglas or another player they're eyeing, the goal remains the same: building a team that's not just competitive, but championship caliber. And with the NFC South up for grabs, every decision counts. So, fans, stay tuned, because this saga is far from over. The Falcons are still in the mix, still looking for ways to elevate their roster, and still dreaming of that elusive Super Bowl ring. Pause here, just for a second, if you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Atlanta Falcons news to you. It's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick, and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now, let's continue with the big reveal. And now, Atlanta Falcons fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on all these developments? Do you think signing a veteran like Rasul Douglas is the right move? Or do you believe the team should look elsewhere? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Falcons. This team has so much potential, and your voice can help shape the conversation. Remember, I'll be back very soon with more updates, more insider insights, and all the latest news on your Atlanta Falcons. So, stay tuned, keep the faith, and let's keep supporting our team through thick and thin. The journey to another Super Bowl run might be just getting started, and every fan's voice is part of that story. In conclusion, the Falcons are at a pivotal point. They've shown flashes of brilliance, but consistency in their secondary remains the key to unlocking their full potential. The offseason is still young, and there's plenty of time for them to make strategic moves that could define their season. Whether they land Douglas or explore other options, one thing is clear: Atlanta is committed to building a team that can contend and hopefully bring home that coveted Lombardi Trophy. So, keep your eyes peeled, stay engaged, and remember, this fanbase is one of the loudest, most passionate in the league. The best is yet to come. Let's go Falcons!